guys, I wanted to make a video on this Heikin Ashi dashboard. It does come with a cost. It's not free, it's $37. But I just wanted to show you how powerful it was. And so what it does, it sort of scans all the currency pairs across different time frames, but it also gives you a preview of the currency pair in question. But it also does something else that's really cool. It also detects inside bars as well. So I'll give you a demo of that. Come to trader. So for example, say I've got a bias on the euro yen for a long. Well, because if we look at the euro yen, we've got lots of greens on that particular row, and the daily is bullish. So you're probably wondering what the numbers mean. What that 9 means, it just tells us that the current trend is 9 bars up, and the previous trend was 10 bars. So you can count the red there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then there's 9 green bars. So we have broken that downtrend, as you can see on the euro yen. So pending that remains green, and pending that remains green, and that one, then really we probably should be going green on these small time frames. So that's like your overarching technical look for that particular currency pair. And then you're looking for reversals. So if these go red, then it's slightly suspicious, because the big picture is that we are quite bullish, but we have to obviously remember we've got the BOJ tomorrow night, so this could all completely change. So while it may be green now, it may completely change tomorrow. So remember just to know your exit, and obviously if that is green now, it can flip pending something crazy happens from the BOJ, and that can flip to a sell. We could potentially start a new downtrend. So as you can see, we definitely trending lower, but then we sort of bucked the trend down there, didn't we? So the hashtags are inside bars. So we can come to the EURUSD, and it's saying that we've got an inside bar formed here. Now, an inside bar is when it doesn't have momentum to the downside or to the upside. The price just stalls, okay? Because we were clearly trending lower here momentarily, but it stopped. It didn't make a lower low, so we made an inside bar. Now, the inside bar is understood in 2 ways. You've got like the candle prior, which is like the mother, and this is the child. And the child needs to make a high or a lower low. It can't just sit there and do nothing. So obviously the smaller time frames aren't that great for inside bars, but the bigger time frames are quite good. Euro Swiss has got one here. We made one there. So we were trending lower, and then it didn't make a lower low on the H4, and we just sort of stranded. So pending that you think we're coming up higher, you could look for a long, and then that's where your stop could be. Really, it's the inside bar. So hopefully that makes sense. It's basically the inability to carry on the momentum. Aussie USD, we've got one here, for example, as well. And so just a video on this Heikin Ashi scanner. It's really cool. So if you're looking for blocks of color. Now, there is one thing that probably should be mentioned, is that on the daily we've got lots of greens, even on the dollar. Okay, we've got an inside bar on the daily on the UJ, so that may be telling us that a reversal could be due on the dollar yen. But because they're all green, that would be kind of strange. So we should probably see something break. So we can't have a strong dollar and a strong euro, for example, on the daily. We can't have a strong dollar and a strong Aussie on the daily. It just doesn't make much sense. So we'll have to wait and see what happens to the FOMC. I kind of suspect we may see a weaker dollar, but it doesn't look like we're going to see that now. Oh, look at the dollar CAD on the daily. So there's 8 bars, 8 days of uptrend on the dollar CAD. Wow. And yeah, so that's quite bullish. So you can see how you can use it. Gives you a nice preview, and and it also tells you inside bars as well. Don't trade them solely. Try and trade them with other indicators, especially the sentiment. And on my other screen, I've got the spreadsheet, which obviously I'm referring to, and I'm making notes as well of what's going on with the bubbles, for example. And for example, on the bubbles, they've added long on Aussie, so we should be seeing red. So I think maybe we may see these start to go red, and then we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. So risk appetite is quite closely linked to Aussie, but it can break down on its correlation. So we could potentially go red on the daily on the Australian dollar, but we could also be positive on risk. So that would be unusual, but it could happen. So we're going to see something break, I think, by FOMC, and then tomorrow we'll have like a hangover from FOMC, and there'll be like quite a bit of a hustle, and then we'll have to see which one's going to not break. I kind of thought maybe the dollar would, but look at that. We're actually really strong on the dollar, and we potentially could be a little bit weak on the Aussie. And so that's it. So like I say, it's not a free indicator. It comes with $37. It's really cool, and I've been using it quite a lot, very effectively, for my trading on the euro yen. And knowing that the daily is green, then I'm sort of thinking, well, we probably should be green on the small time frames. But I think perhaps what might happen with cross yen is that we are going to pump, and then at the BOJ, when they release the interest rate announcement and they have a hike, although it will be priced in, we'll see a lot of volatility, and we'll probably see like a dump. So we may see this change on the euro yen, but let's wait and see. Hopefully this video is helpful, and it's really good in conjunction with the sentiment as well. And it's nice it gives us a scanner, which I think is pretty awesome. And the inside bar is useful as well. Remember what I was saying about the small time frames and the high time frames. Obviously more powerful on the higher time frames. Try and get the colours to match, and then we should be okay. But I think we're going to see something break after the Powell speech, and it probably should be the dollar to break, but you can see how strongly trending we are. So it's a bit of a gamble. Just be careful, know your exits, and I can also help you as well if you need me to advise you or anything like that. So have a good day, and I'll speak to you guys later tonight for the FOMC.